Welcome. This is our very first carry-out craft for adults. It is blown up on Facebook, so we're opening it up to all ages. I'm Stephanie. I'm the Adult Programming Coordinator.
I'm Beth. I run the House Calls program.
And Beth came to me with this really cool idea. And what exactly is it we're going to be doing today?
Today we're going to be making a fairy garden terrarium. So I really love plants, but I'm lazy and I'm bad at them.
I'm terrible at plants.
But with this, it's easy because it's cute and you just mist it with water every now and then.
And so Beth already made one, and we're going to give you everything in the carry-out bag that is in this one. However, Nora, she had some fairies, and she had another bowl. So even if you don't get our carry-out craft, feel free to make a terrarium of your own.
Yeah.
You said you make terrariums all the time.
I do. I make them at home. I have a whole bunch.
In various different size
You can
containers.
use any size container. You can use glass. You can use plastic. Just whatever you've got on hand. That's what makes it so much fun.
For safety reasons, in our to-goes, we're sending plastic. We thought that that would be better for you to take home with you. And what you're going to get when you sign up is a little bag, and it's going to have everything in it. It's going to have the plastic jar. It's going to have some rocks, some moss, some dirt, and one of our little figurines. We have fairies, we have gnomes, and we have some cute little animals. And again, here's the empty jar. So now we're going to show you how to do it.
Yep, let's get started.
All right. When you get your carry-out craft home, this is what's going to be inside. We got moss, rocks, dirt, a figurine, and your plastic container. And so, since you've done this before, how about you tell me how to do this, Beth?
Okay. Well, to start,
Obviously, you take the lid off.
you do take the lid off. You're going to need a spoon.
Okay. And so we just got a plastic one.
You could use your hands, but my hands are big and they don't fit in the jar.
Mine are enormous. So
what you're going to start with is
Okay.
you want to put the rocks in first because that's going to be the foundation.
How many scoops of rocks do you think?
Just a little bit, just to cover the bottom. You don't need a whole bunch. If you want it to be visible from the side, you're going to want to put more.
Okay. See, and I also shake.
That's okay.
So we have a combination of small, okay.
And you may have enough that you don't need to put the whole bag in there. You can also do alternating layers. In my original one, I put rocks, dirt, because the rocks are there to help with drainage, to make sure the water doesn't collect and rot any plants that you put into your terrarium, because they don't typically have holes in the bottom.
And so we're not providing any live plants. If you do want to create one that has live plants, these are, can be used for live plants. It's got the dirt, it's got the rocks for drainage.
Yeah, if you had a small live plant, you could put it in there.
Right. And so that, we'll throw some dirt in here. Okay. I'm messy.
That works too. You can just dump it in.
Okay.
All right. Shake it to flatten it out.
Okay.
That's
so
great. And like I said, if you wanted,
yours goes up a little. Oh, okay. So that's when you did.
if you want more rocks or more dirt, I just do more layers.
Okay. I'm going to do this again. This is why Beth's stuff is going to always look better than mine, because she is more deliberate.
I don't know about that.
With her rock and dirt ratios than I.
I think it's looking pretty good so far.
It's
a lot of rocks.
That is a lot of rocks. But they're pretty rocks.
Yeah, they're pretty. It'll look nice.
And then we got some more dirt.
And if you want it to be colorful and you've got any like aquarium rocks at home, you can also use aquarium rocks. They're usually brighter colors, so it makes it a little bit more fun, I guess. Less natural looking.
So we got a kind of a little bit of a gradation.
Yep. So now you're gonna wanna put the moss on top.
Okay, and the moss I got is really weird moss,
So
right?
the moss is sheath, which I haven't seen before.
And
But
so,
what you're gonna wanna do is take them out,
okay.
and you can do it 2 ways. I shaved the moss off of this backing to make it fluffy, but you could
Yeah.
also just lay it in there, whatever
Yeah,
you
because
want.
like Nora just laid hers in there.
We're
flat.
gonna
But we're
show
gonna
you how
shave
to
it.
Shave it.
So how did you do this exactly?
So I took it, and I
Okay.
took some scissors, and if you're doing this with your kids, you're gonna wanna help them. And these scissors are too big. These scissors are enormous.
I gave you too big and too.
You're gonna wanna just sort of shave it off, and then once you have it all shaved off, you just take it and pull it apart a little bit, fluff it
Okay.
up.
So it's a little fluffier.
Yeah,
It's not quite so flat.
It looks more like forest floor and less like that grass you buy that you leave in the yard. And then you just dump it in there. And if you get some on the table, you just scrape it into your hand and dump it in there again. And you can try that, Stephanie.
Okay, let's see if I can do this.
And just be very careful that you don't cut yourself. The scissors don't have to be sharp. It comes off really easy.
It actually does. I thought it would be much harder to get it. Okay. And then kind of
Just break it up.
break it up, break it up, break it up.
Because if not, you'll just have like a weird clump. And you should have enough in your bag to cover the
All
bottom
of
of the
the-
floor.
All of that dirt.
Yeah. Here we have. And what I do is, once you've shaved it all and put it in there, I take the spoon and just kind of tamp it down a little bit. And if you want it to be flatter, if you feel like it's too fluffy or it's clinging to the sides of the jars, you can moisten it just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
If you moisten it, you're going to want to make sure that you leave the lid off for a little bit for the water to evaporate so it doesn't get condensation in the jar. But if it does, you can just take the lid off later.
And then I got my little gnome. He says welcome. He's so cute.
You just stick him in there.
I love little gnomes. Even though he's got a scary little face.
He does have a scary little face. But that's
Okay. So what did you do to yours? Because this is all that we have in our things, but you can add some extras.
So if you have other stuff at home and you want to add it to make it special, there are a couple of things you could do. If you have something like computer paper or scrapbooking paper, you can make a little sign to go in yours.
Okay, and that's what you did for the sample
That's what I
one.
did. So I just cut up some paper into a little small square. Gosh, these scissors are so cute.
They are pretty large scissors.
And then I decided what I wanted to write on it. So in mine, it says Once Upon a Time because they're
That's
fairy gardens. But this one, he's a gnome, so maybe we could make him a welcome sign.
That sounds good.
So I just took
And I have terrible handwriting, so Beth has to do this.
I took a Crayola washable marker, and I just made a little sign. And then this is a skewer, so it's a little big, but you could use a regular toothpick.
Yeah, that's probably easier.
I broke it off. I got some washable school glue and put it on there. Well, if I opened it. And you know, like your teacher always says, a dot is a lot, so you don't need.
You know
a
what?
whole
It's been
bunch.
so long since I've been in school, I had not heard that.
Really?
Yes.
And then you just stick it on there,
Okay.
and you're gonna wanna leave it for a little bit
To let it dry.
to let it dry, and you can press it down and set it aside. Well, I didn't put enough.
Oh, turn it towards us.
Towards us, this way.
No, never mind. I don't know. Okay, so we're gluing that on,
Okay.
and we're gonna let that dry.
Gonna scoot it out of the way to dry.
And then you added a, you added a ribbon to yours. So
Yes.
I really like that idea, and I had some yellow ribbon. So I guess you need to make sure it goes around,
Yes.
and then we'll use normal size scissors.
To trim it. You can go like this,
I thought the ribbon would be one of the easiest things.
and then go like this. And then, once you've got your bow, we don't want it to be too big because then it looks
Weird.
weird. You just pull it and cut it at a little angle because that looks nice.
So the huge ribbon, or the huge scissors are also not sharp.
And then there you go.
Move it to the front.
And you could write on the lid or anything. And when your sign is done,
Is it dry yet?
it's dry enough.
Okay.
When your sign is done, hopefully it's not too big, you take it and you just stick it down in there and put your lid back on.
Well, thank you so much, Beth, for showing me how to make a fairy garden terrarium. This is my little Gnome home. I kind of like that. I've got a gnome home, and he's welcoming you all. And you again put Once Upon a Time, right?
Yes, because it's a fairy tale.
And Nora put 444 Fairy Street, and she had much larger fairies that she actually already owned for hers. And when you call, basically you can call to get your carryout craft, but you'll have to call ahead of time so that we can make sure and have it available for you to pick up at any of our locations. For curbside pickup at Liberty and Pickens, drive-through at Easley and Clemson. And so what you'll do is you'll call, give us your name, which location you want to pick it up, and your phone number so that we can let you know when it's available for you to pick up. It'll probably just take a day or so if you're at one of the branches for us to get it there.
Yeah, and you can pick it up fast so you can get home and have fun.
Yes, and we have all the stuff. You can watch the video before and or after, but we'll have everything in the bag ready for you.
Everything except a spoon and scissors.
Yep, spoon, scissors, and if you want to add a ribbon, if you want to add some extra embellishments to your fairy garden.
That's up to you.
It is. And again, please let us see what you come up with. I'd love to see everybody else's fairy garden terrarium. This was an adult program, but everybody seemed to love it so much that it's open to all ages. And we just hope you enjoy it and share with us your finished product. So thanks for joining us. I hope you come back for another quarantine craft and many of our other programs this summer.
Have a good day.
Bye.